Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see everybody. Today we have a special guest, and Dr. Greg Yun, and he is he's had over 40 years in psychiatry and also teaching Tai Chi, and as well as being a practitioner of the Ningba Tibetan Buddhism. And with that pitiful introduction, I apologize. I will turn it over to Dr. Greg Young. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Kevin. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
That's great. Okay, wonderful. I wanted to thank especially Soshin Bruce for allowing me the opportunity to share the practice of Do-In with you. Let me tell you why I'm here. I came to the Sequoia National Park to go camping for a couple of days. And I thought, well, what is the closest city around that might have a Zen center? And you happen to be the people. So I contacted Soshin Bruce, and he invited me to do the Dharma talk today. So I'm really happy to be here and thank him for allowing me this opportunity. I hope you can hear the recording later. Well, let's get down to business a bit. Let me leave you starting off with a statement. True spiritual realization, authentic enlightenment, is only found in the body and nowhere else. That's quite an extreme statement. It sort of kind of goes counter to the usual notion of the path of Buddhism being related to meditation and sort of working with the mind, taming the mind. But let's try to break this down a little bit further. This particular statement was written by Reginald Ray in a book called The Awakening Body. Reginald Ray is a student of Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, who's part of the Vajrayana Tibetan Buddhist sect. And he wrote this book trying to promote the idea of somatic meditation. That's really what it's all about. It's really about body awareness, meditating on the body, right? Now, the Buddha said that if the body is not cultivated, the mind cannot be cultivated. If the body is cultivated, the mind can be cultivated. Okay. Let's look forward further into the Satipatthana Sutra, which says about the 4 pillars of mindfulness. What are the 4 pillars? We have the body, feelings, the mind, and Dharma, right? Let's take up the 3 besides the body. We'll get to the body at the end, okay? So feelings would have to do whether your feelings are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Maybe if it's arising, appearing, or disappearing. The mind is pretty self-explanatory. It has to do with your state of mind. Are you feeling anger? Are you feeling jealous? Is it expanded, concentrated? Are you deluded? And the Dharma refers to basically, we think of the Dharma as the teachings of the Buddha, but it also refers to phenomena in general. I like to think of it as mental objects, if you will. So it's being mindful of those perceptive things that we get through our senses. Yeah. Okay, so those are 3 of the pillars of mindfulness. Then what about the body? Okay. When the Buddha talks about the mindfulness of the body, he talks about the 32 parts of the body. Talks about body movement, talks about the breath. But he also talks about the elements, which have to do with the 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and also sort of meditating on a corpse. Okay? all in all, in the whole conclusion of this Satipatthana Sutra, it doesn't give a very flattering view of the body. In essence, I am no authority, of course, but for what I've gleaned about understanding this sutra, it's about putting the body in its place where it doesn't have any kind of special esteem, special ownership that we have of it, and it kind of reduces it to kind of like a bag of beans, if you will. And thereby it reduces perhaps our attraction to sensual desire, okay? And of course, if you're meditating about the corpse and saying that your body is no better than a corpse, that really doesn't elevate you to a very high level in terms of your body. And in fact, it just kind of reminds you of your impermanence, basically. Okay, so overall, this particular sutra does not have a very favorable attitude toward the body. But let me introduce you to a gentleman, Zenki Christian Dillo Roshi. Anybody heard of him? Nobody heard of him? Okay, anyway, he is the resident and guiding teacher at the Boulder Zen Center. And that particular center is also affiliated with the Soto Zen, which is your sect of Zen, okay? So he wrote a book called The Path of Aliveness. And in that book, he basically says that true happiness is about being fully alive, even in the midst of unfortunate, unpleasant circumstances. Okay? He says that being fully alive is not about feeling better. It's about being better at feeling. Okay? And when he's talking about feeling, he's talking about really this bodily awareness. Okay? This ability to feel ourselves. Okay? So his method is basically using the physical postures of Zazen, saying that that is a very important factor in developing this better ability to feel, okay? And then along with the physical posture of Zazen, he also mentions 4 mental postures, okay? First is don't move. It has to do with stillness of the mind, okay? Second, don't scratch, which has to do with like not reacting, non-reactivity of the mind. So you're just kind of more keeping a bit of equanimity, calmness, not reacting. Third is don't invite your thoughts to tea, okay? Which is basically like not thinking, non-thinking, basically. And the fourth is don't correct the mind. So you kind of take the mind where it is at. You don't try to mess around with it. Take it as it is, right? So he's saying that with this physical posture and mental postures, you can develop what he calls the buzz of aliveness. And he says that he's really promoting you to feel this buzz of aliveness through your whole body, from the top of your head to your tip of your toes, okay? And he goes beyond to say that this buzz of aliveness can even go beyond the body, sort of where you can create this field of mind. I thought he should have called it field of body mind, because it's really, you know, body and mind kind of together, but he calls it field of mind, okay? Just sharing that with you. And with this field of mind, you live life, you know, with this kind of field of mind, and then within that, having your thoughts. And so that the thoughts don't become so prominent. They don't run your life so much. I'd like to share some saying by your founder, Dogen. And let's kind of see what he has to say here. To study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by the 10,000 dharmas. When actualized by the 10,000 dharmas, your body and mind, as well as the bodies and minds of others, drop away. No trace of enlightenment remains, and this no trace continues endless. All right? So I'm interpreting Christian Dillo as saying that when you have this field of mind, you are actually on the path towards, excuse me, sorry, my reminder about the talk today. You're kind of getting to the field of mind where you are, in fact, pursuing enlightenment. That's where you're headed for. And so this is what he's proposing. So he's saying, get to this buzz of aliveness, get to this buzz of aliveness. And what's exciting for me, I've been a Tai Chi instructor for over 40 years, is this buzz of aliveness for me is the Qi. In traditional Chinese medicine, the Qi is that vital force that runs through the body. It's the force that we are, acupuncturists are manipulating when they put needles into your body to balance. In the Tai Chi classics, they say where your mind goes. I'm going to move back a little so you can see. Can't really. Let me see if we can get you to see more of me. Where your mind goes, the Qi goes. Okay? Where the Qi goes in traditional Chinese medicine, where the Qi goes is where the blood goes. So as you have this somatic meditation, this bodily awareness, if you can fully be aware of your whole body, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, from the surface of your skin deep down into your bones, your Qi is going to be circulating there. Your blood is going to be circulating there. It will lead to good oxygenation, good nutrition, elimination of carbon dioxide, and elimination of any toxins. Your body is going to be healthy, right? So this buzz of alignment is associated, in my mind, with a lot of health. Yeah? So where can we take this in terms of spiritual development? Yeah? Well, when you massage yourself, okay, and you press, you are in the now. You can't be any other place than in the now when you press yourself. You're feeling yourself. Okay? What else goes on? When you're in this mode of feeling, you kind of lose yourself, which is what Dogen was already talking about. Yeah? You want to lose yourself. Okay? And you get into the feeling mode, which is non-conceptual. Okay, it is in a place that you don't have any cognitive overlay. Christian Dillo describes it by saying phenomenology, the study of phenomena, is really about direct experience without any cognitive understanding. Okay, it's the whole idea of busting through all of our thinking processes to get at the inherent nature of our being, which Dogen says it's already there. That your enlightenment is already there. It's for you to realize and let it unfold. And the way you unfold is you have to kind of clear away all of this discursive thinking, this monkey mind, whatever it is that gets in the way of the direct experience. Let me give you another quote from Dogen. It's really kind of a phrase that Christian wrote in his book. Dogen says that to carry the self forward and actualize the 10,000 dharmas is delusion. But to let the 10,000 dharmas come forward and actualize the self is enlightening. Okay? So my interpretation, in my humble opinion here, is we're not trying to make our experience happen or be or put all of our self into it, project into the experience. We're letting the experience come to us and become us. Yeah? And by doing that, that's enlightenment, basically. Yeah. So I'm really excited about Doin because it's such a simple practice, basically. We talk about mindfulness of the body. What could be more mindful than when you're pressing yourself and your mind goes there? That to me is being really mindful of your body. Well, how else could you? I mean, you can put your attention there, but if you press it, you're going to definitely be mindful of your body. There's no doubt, right? Okay. So I'm really excited about this idea, what I call the principle of the whole. Okay. The Greek word holos is a derivative, or I should say the etymological basis for three words: whole, W-H-O-L-E, holy, and health. Okay. So deep down, the Greeks realized the integration of the mind, the body, the idea that keeping the idea of the whole leads to health and holiness. So in my Doin practice, I use this tool called the back knobber. Okay. And the reason for the back knobber is that in traditional Doin, they would usually pair themselves with Shiatsu practitioners. So you do Doin on your body, most of your body, but you can't reach your back, right? So you have the Shiatsu practitioners work on your back. Okay. But in my practice of Doin, I'm encouraging people to use the back knobber so that you can be more self-reliant. You yourself can do your whole body. Okay. And I contend that when you do your whole body, you'll have a synergistic effect. 2 and 2 will be greater than 4. Okay. The whole of your massage or the whole body is going to be greater than just the sum of the parts. It'll be a whole different experience and benefit. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm proposing, and hope you can experience this feeling of health and spirituality along with it. So let's do some Doin. Okay, I call Doin mindful self-massage. Okay, so let's start out with our right arm. Okay, and just be sort of mindful of your right arm right now. Just sort of be mindful of it. Yeah? Kind of notice where your mind goes. Is it one part of the arm, another part of the arm? You can move it around a little bit. See if you can get your attention there better. Huh? And let's have a conversation with your right arm. Let's just say, hey, right arm, you've been around with us for a little while. You've been with me for all this journey, and I appreciate you. I really appreciate what you've done for me over all the years. And give it some appreciation. It deserves it. Okay. And maybe just kind of mention that, hey, that you're willing to give it a little more attention. You're willing to pay back a little bit by giving it some love, throwing some love its way. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing today, right? Okay. So now let's go into the actual Doin practice, right? So let's start off with our fingers and just start pressing sides and tops and bottoms of your fingers. Okay. Now, remember, the key thing here is you want to bring your mind to the feeling there, okay? And when you bring your mind there and you feel it, then the chi will go there. Huh? Where your mind goes is where the chi goes. Huh? And you might discover something different that you never did before because you've never maybe massaged your fingers this way. You might feel little pains and aches in your joints. Okay, this could be the beginnings of arthritis, perhaps. It'd be good for you to know that ahead of time. Be prepared for it. Okay. You can dig your nails in the tips of your fingers. Dig your nails. Okay, that's some good stimulation there. Okay, then we're going to approach these 6 source points in the arm. There's 6 meridians or channels of energy in the arm. And so these source points are kind of like, think of as the source of a river, you know. So these are the source points for those particular meridians. And we'll start out with the large intestine source point. And that is sort of in the web between the thumb and the forefinger, okay? It's usually pretty tender there, okay? I wish that we could be doing this in person so I could help you if you can't find it, but you have to kind of look around for it. It's tender. You might have to go maybe a little bit further up in the web here to really get something that might feel tender. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then there's the triple warmer point, which you take your 4th finger and you move it up to where the wrist kind of bends, and right up there is a triple warmer point. Okay. Okay. Then on the edge of your hand, kind of go like this, go around the edge here, start on the bone, is a small intestine point. Okay, that's usually pretty tender for most people. Okay, so keep it on the bone now, not so much in the flesh there, Kevin. I think, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, all right. And then on the wrist of the hand, let me step up and you can see it better. Okay, along the wrist line here, there's 3 points. The lung point here below the thumb. Then the middle one on the wrist is the pericardium point. And the one on this end is the heart point. All right. So then let's massage the grooves in the back of the hand. Yeah? And then let's try to do sort of the grooves in the front of the hand. Press there. Yeah? And then just a point in the middle of the palm. It's called the love wound point. So good point for healing. Yeah? Okay. Then let's move up to the lower arm. And there's 3 lines of points on the arm. Trying to get the zoom thing, but I'm not used to it. 3 lines there. So just press. Maybe if let's see. I guess maybe this would be better. Oops. Press 3 lines on the lower arm here. Okay. I'm doing this a little fast. Probably should do it a little slower so you can feel it better, really get the feeling. Okay, then on the other side, oops. Yeah, 3 lines going down here. Yeah, so. Okay, then there's a key point called the arm 3-mile point. So you kind of bend your elbow. Here's a crease just below that, about right there. You can press on that spot. It's usually pretty tender. No, it's below the elbow. Yeah, it's usually pretty tender. Everybody find that spot? Anybody having trouble with that? Let's see. Daryl, you're, let's see, I can't see your arm too well, but think bend your arm. Yeah, bend your arm, and then here's the crease, and just a little bit below that. Does that feel tender at all? No, I think, huh? You feel it? Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, and then what we do is we do what I call freestyling. What is freestyling about? Well, in the acupuncture points, there's a sort of map of all the points. And like any map, it kind of gives you a general sense of what's there, but it doesn't give you the full landscape of what's there. So in freestyling, what we're trying to say is that even though there might be some important acupuncture points, you want to get every point stimulated. So that means in between the two bones of the arm, remember you got two bones in this lower arm, right? So just try to see what you can experience there. What's there? Try to feel what's in between the bones. Try to really get a sense of what's in between the bones. Okay? Very good. All right. Then we're going to move up to the elbow. And so we're going to have basically, like to use my thumb here on the lower tendon of the elbow, and then there's an upper tendon. So those are your lower tendon on the medial side of the elbow, and also on the lateral side of the elbow. With I use my middle finger here to stimulate it. And it's usually kind of tender for most people, a little bit. Then do the upper tendon on the medial and the lateral.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then we can stimulate right in with the cubital fossa right here in the elbow here. Okay. Okay, very good. Then we can move on to the upper arm. And here, think of 3 lines of points on the upper arm. You can press it like this. Okay, then on the outer part, 3 lines of points there. I like to press it this way. Okay, then let's freestyle the upper arm. See, really try to feel what's there. Remember, you got to focus your attention. Feel what's there. And the chi will be there. Okay, very nice. Then we're going to go to the shoulder. Okay, so start out with, there's a little kind of like diagonal here in your shoulder. You can kind of see it in my shirt, the diagonal. Right in there is the lung 1 point. You want to go a little bit deep. Yeah. Press deeply in there. It looks like you're getting it, Christy. I think you're getting it. Yeah. Okay. And then the heart 1 point. So you just lift your arm and you basically stab yourself right in there. So you got to go straight in. Boom. That's a lot of stimulation there. A lot of stimulation. That'll wake you up or wake anybody up that you stimulate. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Then there's a small intestine point. It's a little tough to get to. Get back here. And it's kind of back here. Yeah. It should feel a little tender, a little bit of tenderness. Yeah. Okay, and let's freestyle the upper arm. I mean the shoulder. Yeah. All right. So now, bring your mindfulness to that arm and compare the feeling in your upper arm, in your right arm, with your left arm. And what do you notice is a difference? Please share. You unmute yourselves and share. Show me what do you notice, guys?
More energy.
More energy. Yeah. Really? Wow, that's great, Darren. Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, yeah, I feel like it almost comparing. Yeah, it's more. I would say awake. I where there's a this is dullness in my
Yeah,
life
yeah.
compared to yeah.
I think this really fits in with that Christian Dello idea of aliveness.
Hmm.
Other people have said, hey, it feels more alive. It is more alive. It's more awake. It's more there, more experience there. That's great. So you guys are feeling the chi. You're feeling the chi. This is an experience of chi in your arm. Okay. That's really nice. Beautiful. Did anybody find any kind of sore spots in your arm at all? Anybody kind of feel any sore spots? Anything? Yeah. Yeah. Daryl, you said you had some. Yeah. Okay, in the practice of Doyan, I call that gold. Okay, the
Mm.
reason I call it gold is because that's where you really need to spend more time and giving a little more attention to those particular spots. And when you give more attention to that, after a while, if you keep returning there, it won't be so achy as much, and then the chi will flow a lot better in that spot. Okay, so imagine you're doing this to your whole body, to get your whole body feeling alive. Okay. No, we could run around the block. That'll give us a certain level of feeling, but this level of attention to your body, it's really loving your body at a very concentrated, fixed level. Something that we've not done. And the thing about it is it's so simple. It's so available. It is kind of like Zen. Enlightenment is there in front of you. This healing and holy kind of practice is right there in front of you, and we just sort of like miss it. We miss it totally. So this is what the chi feels like, guys. Okay, let's do another meditation. All right, well, let's do a meditation. It's going to be a somatic meditation. Okay. And what it consists of is you're going to just be pressing. Why don't we pick the left arm this time? We're pressing, just kind of press into it. Okay, so we're going to have three parts. We're going to have the hand, the lower arm, and the upper arm. Okay, so this meditation is about you focusing on the feelings in your body. And when you're pressing, let's press kind of, a certain rhythm, like a dum, 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 dum. And then you focusing on the feelings in where you're pressing. And I'll just tell you when to go from the hand to the lower arm and the upper arm. So why don't we do maybe like 2 minutes on each part, okay? And so while you're pressing, of course, you want to still be mindful if you're having any thoughts running in your head. So mindful of the pressing, just mindful of your thoughts, but try to focus more on the pressing, okay? And you can press anywhere, just be arbitrary, but the key thing is keep that focus, that's that somatic focus, okay? So we begin. Press. Press, press, press. Okay, let's move over to the lower arm. Press, 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 press. Press, 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 press. Press, 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 press. Press, 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 press. Okay, upper arm. Press, press, press. Press, press, press. Press, press, press. Press, press, press. All righty. That should be sufficient. So I'm curious about how your meditations went. I mean, what was that like for you?
Well, doing the hand going up here, all the way up here, I definitely felt something.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Kind of the audio kind of froze there, Daryl.
My bad. What I meant to say was I definitely felt something in my hand going all the way up during the meditation.
You did, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That wasn't what I was shooting for, but it is what it is, and that's a great thing. You know, get that feeling. Okay. Was it difficult for some of you to get into this somatic meditation? It's not something that you normally do. I don't know much about the Kinhin, and I would imagine that could be a situation where that somatic meditation would come in. I don't know how it's really done much myself.
Yeah.
Kevin, you got any thought on that?
For me, yeah, it's much like because the Kinhin is a way of the moving meditation and a connection between the breath and the movement. And for me, as I was doing that, I was making first. Of course, with anything new, I come to the realization I'm holding my breath while I'm doing it, because I'm pushing.
Oh,
And then when I kind of relaxed into it, it it came to the realization that what I was doing was being felt throughout the body, not just in the arm. And then as we
wow.
stopped and when we completed, the realization, yeah, it was almost like, for me, I describe it like you're squeezing a balloon. It isn't, it all kind of
Uh-huh.
returns. It returns, but it's affected my whole body.
That's a great experience. I have to say, Kevin, that, and all due respect, that really sounds like an advanced level of experience because I can tell you, like even for myself in my own sort of speak development, it gets you have to be at a certain level to feel that connection with the rest of the body. Most people just feel it in that part, but to feel it in connection, it's a really good sense that you have of your body. That's wonderful. It's great. I was really trying to.
Yeah, I've been doing martial arts since I was, I don't know, 12, almost 50,
Wow.
50 years this year.
Wow.
In fact, I've been going through with the shoulder issue, and I've been doing physical therapy because of it. And then I was really surprised on how many of those spots were that was tender. There were so many that
Oh, no.
it's like I'm not
When
aware.
we were when we were doing it, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really surprised on how many tender
Oh,
spots.
and yeah, that's wonderful. So you got a lot of gold today, man. You got a whole lot of gold. It sounds like
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
I only get 10% now, Kevin. Only 10%. That's all I'm asking for today.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but I guess the point that I was trying to get to is like when I teach Tai Chi, we do it. I teach it as a somatic meditation. In other words, throughout the whole Tai Chi process, you're moving, right? Throughout the movements, your mind is connected to your body. So you're in that mode of mind connected to the body. So your mind is moving through your body as you move. Okay. So when you make a movement with your arm, you're not just moving it. Your mind is following the feelings in your body as you're moving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is something that I think in general people are not used to doing, connecting the mind so fully with the body. Okay. And the reason I love Do-In is that it gives you a very simple way of connecting your mind with your body. You don't have to learn the 108 postures of Tai Chi. You can just start pressing on your body. You got it right there, and you just go at it, and cultivate the Chi and the body awareness,
Yeah.
And of course, I'm really presenting this to you all not to replace Zazen. There's no way I'm going to replace your Zazen. But hopefully that this will give some enhancement to your Zazen practice. I'm really trying to see if I can sell this to Christian Dillo because he's trying to produce some kind of a course related to his book. And I think that the Do-In practice would be a great enhancement for what he's looking for. It was kind of funny because I did a demo of Do-In to a yoga class. And I did the same thing that we did with you, looking at the one arm and doing the Do-In and comparing. And then one of them did say, hey, it feels more alive after the Do-In. So this is exactly the whole point of what Christian Dill is up to. He wants to get to that aliveness and type of thing. So I think it would really work well if we can work together. I'd like to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I would invite you all. The other thing I was thinking was, what about your thinking process when you were doing the somatic? What did you kind of notice much there? Like, was there still some thinking going on, or did you notice maybe a less of that kind of monkey mind kind of thing? What would you say? You say,
Yes,
Christine?
monkey mind.
Less monkey mind. Yeah. So it sort of makes sense. So in original Ray, when he talks about this somatic meditation, he says it's more like a portal, and it's sort of the metaphor of the raft carrying you over the river. It can be a help to get you to the other side, to that enlightenment shore. But once you get there, you maybe don't need to kind of use it so much, but it's helpful to get there, so it could perhaps help enhance your Zazen practice. So
I think, Gene, you had a question?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, let me see if that works. Yeah. I often have trouble with headaches and stiff neck. Used to be really bad, and I learned some breathing exercises. Do you have anything specific? My headaches are in the temple and of course stiff neck. Is there any
yeah. I would say this. I really invite you to do the Do-In practice. Definitely, we work on the head and all of that. And the more that you do the whole body again, not just it's not working on the head. I mean, you do what you can, of course, do as much as you can. But I really encourage you to do the whole practice. You can go to my website. It's called doin.us, do-in.us. And there's a whole written handout about the sequence of the massage. And then also there's a video available of me instructing about it. So you can also do that. And I think that, and please give me feedback, Gene, if you ever get really into this practice and if it makes a difference, please let me know, because I like to see more, results and just intuitively, or just, it just makes sense that if you do this practice, it's going to make a difference in your aches and pains.
Okay.
And I'll have the.
You're going to get the chi flowing. See, pain is usually
I'll have the links and everything when I send out the link for the recording. I'll have Greg's links on there too, so you'll be able to.
Okay. So in traditional Chinese medicine, they say that pain and in fact most medical conditions or diseases are a result of a blockage or an imbalance in the flow of the qi. So if you get that qi flow going, the chances of the pain are going to be much reduced.
Quickly,
so I'm pretty confident that there could be. Say that again?
I have a question.
Sorry, John, go ahead.
Yeah, water, H2O. For various reasons, I'm aware of, being introduced to. There's the real medication is water. I mean, not to disagree with this, but all pharmacy and every other stuff is just a substitute for having adequate water in your system. H2O.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to wait. Help me understand this, John. You're saying water is the solution, taken literally, a solution for
most things, yeah.
For most things in general, you say.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't totally disagree with that, but the only thing I would say is that anything in excess is not good, right? You want to have balance too. I mean, there is a psychiatric condition, I can't think of the name of it offhand, but it is a result of excessive intake of water that leads to a psychotic disorder.
Wow.
So I mean, anything in extreme is not good. You want to keep it balanced. And in my study of macrobiotics, and all due respect, I know a lot of people are into water. Okay, what we usually say in macrobiotics is you want the color of your urine to be a certain color, okay, more like an amber, like a beer. You don't want it to be totally clear. Okay, and that's just from the macrobiotic point of view. Macrobiotics is a study of dietary approaches to health and happiness, and they try to balance things with the yin and yang, so to speak. And they would say you don't want it to be just clear. That might be a little too much water. Okay, so we could have a heated discussion perhaps about water and intake of water and all that, but maybe that'd be left for another time, John.
Could I ask one more thing? I wonder why Western medicine has such a hard time accepting. I mean, I was in China for a long time, so I got to understand the traditional doctors have a completely different concept of, like you were saying, flow of the life force, qi in the body.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
just wonder why Western doctors,
well,
they say, show me. And
yeah. Well, basically, we want to be able to measure things, quantitatively, and qi, so to speak, cannot really be measured per se. But I can tell you that, for example, they've done like microscopic looking at the capillaries, those tiny blood vessels in the body, and they found that with people that practice qigong, which is the mastery of qi, cultivating qi, masters of this cultivation, that the capillaries were much more prevalent. So there's more blood flow in certain areas of these practitioners compared to those that didn't practice qigong. So it sort of validates what we're already saying. We already kind of said that where the qi flows, the blood's going to flow more, and they can demonstrate that with actual microscopic looking at the blood vessels in the qigong practitioner. Yeah, but so Western medicine, you can't measure the qi, you can all that, but there are some electrical devices that are used in what is called electrodermal stimulation. And these practitioners, I don't know if there are any here in Fresno, but definitely there's practitioners in, say, San Francisco, and California. Well, this is California too. But in any case, they will hook you up with the electrodes to your body, and they can sort of measure the sort of levels of the, I don't want to say qi because maybe it's not the right terminology, but they can, the levels of the excess or deficiency in your meridian channels. And by that, they can determine what might be good remedies for you. And they can test it electrically to see what's going to make it balance better. So it's kind of an interesting process. But yeah, it's going to take a little while for it to Western medicine. We're more and more kind of leaning that way to accept complementary medicine, but it's it's slow in coming, but it's happening.
Right.
Gary.
Yeah, at the beginning of the talk, you had mentioned that you said true enlightenment is only found in the body. And I found this exercise, the Do-In practice, is really making me be aware, forcing me to be aware of how my body feels. That I might be walking around and not feel any pain at all. But when I'm starting to massage, I start to feel those places where it's tender. It seems like it's an assistance and just a mindfulness or awareness practice.
Yeah, great. So I'm happy that you got some gold today, Gary.
Yeah.
Remember, just 10%. Just send it my way now. 10%. I'm not going to take a lot. Yeah. No, I think it's wonderful. And kind of curious. I got to study that Satipatthana Sutra a little bit more, because it seemed to me like the Buddha should have maybe said a little bit more about the mindfulness of the body or something. I don't know. Maybe I just did not, study it deeply enough. But to me, this mindfulness of the body at this focus level is great. I mean, this is who you are. This is who you are, getting to know yourself,
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I had a question. How would you compare this to shiatsu and regular massage, where I know shiatsu is more like a acupressure.
Uh-huh.
whereas regular massage, where you're getting more of a, you're not getting it really the pushing, but more of pushing across instead of down.
Right.
There are those
Okay.
techniques.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mention to you, Kevin, that I'm a licensed massage therapist ever since the 1970s. Okay. I don't practice it on a daily basis because I'm a psychiatrist, but I know massage, and I know a lot about massage. In fact, I studied primarily shiatsu. My teacher was a shiatsu practitioner. So it's a good question that I can answer. Basically, if you get a massage or any kind of body work, it behooves you to be mindful of where they're pressing. Okay. I'm guilty of it myself. When I go on massage, I've had times where you just want to just space out and just be sort of numb and not think about anything and just have somebody do your body. That's not where you're getting the optimal benefit. If you want the optimal benefit when you're getting massage, your mind is there where they are pressing. You're getting to know the feelings in that spot. So if you do get a massage, that is going to give you the most benefit, for your bang for your buck. Follow where the massage therapist is pressing. In fact, I just had a Thai massage here in Fresno. It's called Suryo Thai massage. I really recommend this individual. Good lady. I told her to go as deep as you can. And I will, if I start to yell, then you're at the point where it's getting too much. Okay. So she was good about it. She made me yell a little bit and not too much. So it was okay. It was great. She got me to that point. Okay. So she really, because I can handle a lot of deep massage because, I've been doing the Do-In for years and, I've had massages and all that. So the point is that I'm really more for shiatsu in general, more than say some of the other kind of massage. Deep tissue massage would also be a good thing to have because it goes deep. Okay. I don't really believe in practitioners making people have pain. Okay. I have been to Thai, I have been to Thai massage where they have literally hurt me and I have yelled in pain and they didn't stop. They kept going. Okay. I don't believe in that. I believe that, as a massage therapist myself, that you kind of go just a little bit more than people can handle, just to kind of stretch them a little bit to get them there. And then gradually as you get, you can get deeper and deeper, but don't hurt anybody. Here we are Buddhists. We don't want to hurt anybody really, bottom line. Okay. So I think that, shiatsu is really good, or deep tissue massage. Rolfing is a good practice too. They used to do rolfing where they get really deep and it really would hurt people and people really suffered, but they've kind of toned it down lately. They're not as deep as they were and they're more considerate of the practitioner. So if you want to know, I think of chi cultivation in 4 phases. Okay, since you brought it up, Kevin. First phase, I say, is getting body work. So have somebody, a professional, help you get to know your body. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry that I can't see you in person because sometimes when I press on your body, you get to feel it a little bit more than you would normally do yourself. If you're not used to getting massage or massaging yourself, generally you tend to not go so deep with it. You kind of, because you're not used to going deep. But you want to try to go as deep as you can. Don't hurt yourself, but try to go a little bit deeper than you think you could. And that's probably good for you, good for your body awareness. So the first phase is body work. The second phase is Do-In, basically. So once you learn all your spots in your body, where all those tensions are, you can do them to yourself. You save money, and you can do it more often because it's available out there. Okay. Then the third phase is what I call the Tai Chi Qigong phase, where you're moving. This could be in the Kinhin somehow when you're moving, and you're kind of using that Tai Chi awareness, your mindfulness in all of your steps and whatever you're doing. And then the fourth phase is I call it meditative phase, where you can basically be stationary, and you can, with your mind, move the energy in your body. So it's an advanced stage, and I have to say that, you know, it's taken time, but I've been able to get to that point. And by Christian Dillo talking about this full bodily feeling of the energy, he's gotten to a certain level of accomplishment as well, you know, in terms of his chi flow, if you will. So he could probably, if he wanted to, start to learn to move the energy in his body a little bit more too. But I haven't really, you know, discussed that with him. But it's the feeling of the chi in your whole body. You can just kind of light yourself up right now, you know, like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else for anyone? Go ahead, Daryl.
Daryl, you're
The book that you recommend us, I think it was The Path of Livedness.
no, The Path of Aliveness.
Yeah. I wanted to
Christian
know.
Dillo, Dillo. Dillo, Dillo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
My question was, I was going to ask you, can you talk more about the book, if it's okay?
Could I talk more about the book? Okay, yeah. I think for a Soto Zen practitioner like you all are, I think it's very valuable for you guys. I'm not so much, you know, I've got my own little lineage of teaching, but he talks a lot about the foundations of Zen and Soto Zen, and he incorporates it a lot, and he includes talking about compassion even, you know. And I kind of noted that in your ceremony, you did the Heart Sutra and you also did the Metta Sutra. And that's a great, you know, combination with wisdom and compassion. In Tibetan Buddhism, we call that the two wings of the bird. You need kind of both sides, you know, for the path, you know. So he's pretty comprehensive in his treatment of his approach to the path and this whole idea of how important the aliveness is into his Zen practice. So it's like a full comprehensive approach to it. I think it'd be really, I think it's a good book. I mean, it's good. It was a good book for me.
Excellent. Now I'll have a link for that too, so everybody will have that reference. Well, thank you very much,
Yes.
Doctor. It was excellent. I recommend this more, and I hope that we will continue to be in contact with you and learn more about this.
Okay, Kevin. Well, thank you
Thank you. Let's
so much. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
we'll do the,
Bye-bye.
do the
Bye.
refuges. We take refuge in Buddha. We take refuge in Dharma. We take refuge in Sangha. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dudiyampe Buddham saranam gacchami. Dudiyampe Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dudiyampe Sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampe Buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampe Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampe Sangham saranam gacchami. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week and take care.
Anyway,
Bye-bye.
Nice being with you all.
thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Hey, Kevin, I had a question.
Yes, go ahead.
My question was, it was from a book I read.